Welcome back to Buckeye Country Creations. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. So glad you're here. Today's video is going to be a video of me redoing these worn out, faded barrels that sit on my porch 24/7, 7 days a week, while it's raining outside. But as you can see, they need a facelift. Okay, we're going to start with this barrel, and we're going to get the stain put on this barrel. And the stain that I'm using today is Varathane's Dark Walnut Stain. It is not a stain and a steeler, it is just a stain. And I'm realizing by looking at this video now that I actually went to Lowe's and Home Depot today with my shirt on backwards. Anyway, we're going to get started, and I'm going to get this stain on this barrel. I'm going to get it on all the wooden parts, and I'm also going to put it on the metal bands that go around because they start to rust and they need the protection as well. So it adds some dimension to them as well as some protection. These barrels were actually a thrifting find that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I purchased them about 2.5 years ago. I paid $100 a piece for them, and some people may think that's a lot, but for me it wasn't, because I knew I was going to use them in multiple different ways. I use them for decoration. I use them for tables when we have our family reunions. I have actually used them for wedding showers and rustic weddings, so I think it was a good buy. But they were getting a little worn and the wood was drying out, so I knew I needed to do something to help protect them. We have put rivets in the bands to keep them from falling down, and it seems to be soaking up this stain pretty well. So I may or may not go back with another coat, but that lets me know that the wood is very dry, so it definitely needed this treatment. The tops of these barrels were done last year with a clear epoxy, and it made them more like a tabletop. I have not done the bottom of them, but I may go back and epoxy resin the bottom of the barrel as well, so that both ends and all the sides are sealed to help protect from the drying out. It was raining outside and the wind was blowing, which it made it kind of cool, but I had to have the fan on me because if you've ever been in Arkansas this time of year, the gnats are horrible. So I had to have the wind blowing on me. Therefore, I had to do a complete voiceover of this video because with the fan blowing, you could not hear anything I was saying on the original soundtrack to the video. So this will be an entire voiceover. Now I'm going to turn my barrel so that I can get to the other side, and make sure if you're using a stain that you wear gloves to protect your hands, because some of this stain, even though it's water based, if it actually gets on your hands, it's really hard to get off with soap and water. So I'm going to speed through putting the rest of this stain on this barrel. Now I'm going to move over the other barrel that has not had the stain put on it yet so that you can get a side-by-side comparison. This barrel was heavy. Even though it was empty, it was kind of awkward and kind of tough for me to roll over because, needless to say, I could not pick it up on my own. But I'm going to maneuver my stuff around. I'll have to adjust the fan, but I wanted you to be able to see a side-by-side comparison so that you would be able to see the difference. And here is a side-by-side comparison. This is before, and this is after. Look at the difference. Isn't that gorgeous? More light on this side. So now I'm going to make that barrel look like this barrel and then wait for the first coats to dry while it's storming. That's what just went over. It's going that way, so we're good. Now here comes the rain. But anyway, it's cooled things off because it was hot today. So let's get started on this second barrel. Now, one thing you need to remember about working with wood and wood stain. Different woods take stains differently. A walnut wood will not look the same as a piece of maple with the same stain on it. Worse, I'll stop doing it. Yes, that was thunder you heard in the background, and I promise you though, I am safe. If it would have gotten very bad, I would have stopped and went inside. But I am used to working on my porch when it's what I call a gentle thunderstorm. So I'm just going to continue working on getting the stain on this second barrel. I was staining this and the hubby came up and decided to give his professional opinion. No, really, he gave his approval. He thought it looked so much better than they did before. He had been out in his shop working on his old antique car, so he's just going to swing on the swing and rest for a little while the paint fumes leave his garage. With this angle of the camera, you can really tell the difference in the before and after. Before the stain, it was the dried out, almost white color, grayish color. And then with that dark walnut stain. It just brings new life into this barrel. I just absolutely love it. I'm telling my husband here, do you realize I went to Lowe's with my shirt on backwards today? Because you see that little mark that's on my right shoulder? That's actually the front. It should have been on the front of the t-shirt. Oh well, it happens. I'm sure we all do it. If you've watched any of my other home tour videos, you will see these barrels being used. There's one of my videos called the Fall Home Tour, where you'll see how I decorated these barrels for fall, and then also for Christmas time. You'll also see those. If you'll look down in my previous videos, you can see how I styled these. And then at the end of this video, I will be styling these barrels for the 4th of July. I'm finishing up this coat on this second barrel. After I'm done, I will let it dry completely till the next day, and then I will decide that I don't want to put on another coat, so I will then put a 1-coat polyurethane on both of these barrels, clean the top, style them, and then take some pictures of my barrels styled with my 4th of July decor on the porch. And I do have flags hanging down, but the wind kind of curled them, so please bear with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here are just a few shots of the way I styled my barrels. I thank you so much for stopping by today and coming along with me while I refurbish these barrels. And remember, go out and make those memories with the ones you love. God bless you. Thanks for watching.